Hello, everyone, and welcome to the All Four Downs podcast presented by CMG Sports. It's the NFL playoffs, the completion of the wild card weekend. We're going to talk about that, plus our predictions on what's going to happen on the divisional rounds. I'm with Heck V. I'm OV1. Thank you, everyone, for joining our show. And what quite of a super wild card weekend, Hector.
Yes, it was. It's been a very long time since we were introduced and entertained with all six games. Not one of them was boring. Everyone kept you on your feet at a certain level, and it was just awesome. I
I mean,
enjoyed it.
if you're a Buccaneers fan, you would think everything is boring the way things folded for them. But we're gonna get to that. But the biggest surprise that I got over the weekend are two teams. Actually, really three, but we'll concentrate on two. Is the New York Giants and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, both these teams got history of previous head coaches that couldn't do the job right. Right now, you have two head coaches that not only got their way in the playoffs, but they got their first win. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe Brian Dable's first win as a head coach, but Peterson for the Jaguars, well, he is a Super Bowl head coach for from the Philadelphia Eagles now
Yep.
with Jacksonville. And listen, they showed perseverance, they had resilience, and they were able to get the job done. We're going to talk about that. Um, but what else was your surprise that over the weekend that you seen?
I will say the Buffalo game. This is a game that I really thought we're going to cover. You know, big time. And here we got a third string quarterback from the Big 12, K State, coming in here playing big ball with Josh Allen. And I was like, this wasn't part of the script from what I understood. But he showed resilience out there and he played it. He played the best that he could. So I give kudos to that quarterback. And it was almost an upset.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, we'll just cover real quick. Let's start with the New York Giants. Giants came in there as a small margin of an underdog,
Right.
but a lot of people were predicting that the Giants were going to handle their business. Uh, and if you were the betting man, uh, you would have won big because +3. I got the Giants at the time that I made my wager. Look, they were up 17-14 and maintaining that momentum. Daniel Jones was the star of this game.
Yeah, he definitely was. And they played nearly perfect football. I mean, besides the two sacks, I mean, what more can you ask for? He to me, his attention to detail from his coaching staff got him the win here. You see, that's what happens when you pay attention to those who know what they're talking about. And you've seen it. I mean, all the different trying to trick plays, and he had I'm still kind of shaky on the whole thing that him doing it with his legs. I mean, that still kind of bothers me a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm glad we have a mobile quarterback to do what he did. I mean, you see the stats there. He led the team in rushing once again with
Right.
17
I think
carries.
that's the winning formula, I guess, because look, a total 30 carries for 142 yards. Saquon got two rushing touchdowns, but you also see Jones throw two passing touchdowns. I'm like
All right.
24 for 35. You notice that there is no interceptions from Jones. That's a good
Exactly.
day. It's a good day,
I mean,
right?
look at his rating. I mean, good night. I mean, you talking about someone who did their homework and was ready for this game. I was going into this game as a Giants fan, really, really confident that we was going to take care of business. The Vikings, their record to me was kind of suspect. 13-4, and I was kind of concerned about the one score games. They were like undefeated in one score games, and here it is, they got first loss with a one score
Right.
game.
Absolutely. And if you got too many of those, that doesn't work in the playoffs. And to be honest with you, Kirk Cousins, I mean, he played one hell of a game. Uh 31 for 39, 273 yards. He passed for two touchdowns. His rating was skyrocket, almost close to Daniel Jones. But a lot of people want to say that on the last drive, he threw it short. instead of playing for that first down. I mean, regardless, I guess you couldn't double check or whatever it is that the quarterback is supposed to do. He didn't do enough. And I like to say, dude, Cousins played his game of his life. And it's just unfortunate that the Giants defense ended up correcting themselves. They slowed down Jefferson. They really did. You
Yes.
know, I mean, there was
Hmm.
a key catches that he got for first downs, but Jefferson wasn't running over the defense like he did the first meet.
No, I'm glad you said that because you seen that. Look who he was targeting a whole lot, Hawkinson, and that
Right.
guy was pissing me off all night. I
Oh
was
man,
like,
he got ten catches for over 100 yards, and it was pissing me off too. I was like, damn, can't anybody stop this guy? But I guess that
exactly,
formula was just right because if you try to concentrate on him, then that will leave Jefferson exposed. So whatever Dable and the whole coaching staff came with for that formula, they executed right. Congratulations to the New York Giants. They move on to the divisional round, something that they haven't done in many years. Okay,
right.
since
Hmm.
2016 being in the playoffs, but now they find themselves for the third time playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk about that later. Uh, Moving on to the Cowboys and the Buccaneers, the other NFC game, in which on Monday night it wasn't the Bucks' night.
No, it wasn't the Buccaneers' night. It wasn't Tom Brady's night. Look, I just think Tom Brady needs to hang this up. Stop it. You're not good. You're trying to fight for the time here. You're not going to win. I am sorry. Yes, I understand this. Look, 35 for 66, 351 yards, and yet you only put 14 points on the board. That's not going to get you anywhere. Dude, you nearly wore out your 45-year-old arm there. Okay. Throwing 66 times. Dak only did half of that and
Is
still
that a
blew you out.
record? Is that a
I
record for passing? Because that's a lot of throws.
That's desperation. That's what it looked like to me. That looked like desperation. Dak did half of that and threw double the touchdowns. Okay. So that goes to tell you this is not Brady's show
Yeah,
anymore.
but if you look at the beginning, them Cowboys were ready to hit hard. Okay. Like the first two drives were like kind of even, but then after that, I mean, the Buccaneers defense had no answer to the Cowboys offense. And
Mm-mm.
Prescott throwing for 305 yards, four passing touchdowns. I mean, look, some of these catches were all borderline catches. Like they needed some reviews. And
Mhm.
everything went in favor of the Cowboys. And if you
Right.
look at the Buccaneers whole entire season, that's how they played the whole entire season.
Right.
There's no surprise. I mean, because it's Tom Brady that's supposed to be automatic that he owned the Cowboys. The team is not the same. The head coach is not the same. Bowles is not a great head coach. I kept
No.
tweeting that, and I kept mentioning that on Facebook, and people, Bowles, whatever, Todd Bowles, if that's his name, he's not. His resume throughout his head coaching career sucks. Let's put it that way. He was with the Jets, got fired. Okay,
Yep.
he is known for being one of the best defensive coordinators. So let him be a defensive coordinator. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, man. If I'm the owner, if I'm the general manager or a head of operations, if Tom
Well,
Brady goes, Tom Bowles got to go.
I believe Leftwich is already gone. Byron Leftwich
Okay,
is gone. That's the start. This is the start of it. Seriously, they need to reevaluate this. Brady's not the answer anymore. I am so sorry. If you're gonna you need to let him go and start fresh with this team. Okay, and let him go somewhere where another team is desperate for an experienced quarterback who can help lead the young quarterbacks.
I
Okay,
think a
someone,
lot of trades got to happen to get
yeah,
these draft picks to bump up the Buccaneers.
right.
Absolutely. But as
And
far as for the Cowboys, I
mm,
mean, look, more props to you, but they got to go play San Francisco. Now they got to play a team that's hungry, that's been craving to reach to the Super Bowl. That's not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and these guys hit hard.
and see, that's what I'm kind of concerned about with the Cowboys. Okay, I'm not trying to sound like a Cowboy hater, but the Cowboys are inconsistent. Okay, they got the
Of course.
offensive weapons, they got the defensive tools. Okay, and both sides were clicking against the Buccaneers, who was just a distraught team. But now you're going up against a more completed team in the 49ers. Okay. And I want to see how Prescott handles the pressure against that 49er defense. And I want to see how the Cowboys defense actually put pressure on Purdy if they can to make him, throw some crazy throws, some crazy passes. I
Right.
think this is going to be a close game. I really do. I really think this is going to be a close game. The Cowboys are going to be in it for 4 quarters. But for some reason, I just feel like the 49ers are going to make that one or two extra plays and win this game because to me, they're just a more of a complete team. They're more consistent of a team, you see?
Well, you're looking at this. Pollard, 15 carries for 77 yards. I know he had shared carries with others, but you look at Prescott throwing it for over 30 passes,
Mm-hmm.
25 for 33. That to me is still a concern because Prescott, after watching ever since he's came back from injury, you allow him to throw a lot. That's not good for the Dallas Cowboys. They need to stick to the diversity of that offense, a well balanced run attack and air attack instead of just all air. And sometimes the Cowboys lose their identity throughout, in the middle of the games, and that's what been costing them some games. But they're 4-4 on the road, and they're going to San Francisco. That is a big concern if you want to try to reach to the Super Bowl. And speaking about the 49ers, they went ahead and took care of business in the second half, 41-23. Brock Purdy, man, 18 for 30, 332 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Uh, Dude, look at that rating, 131.5. That's awesome. And then on the other side, Geno Smith, man, I got to give respect to that guy because no one actually gave him the credit. You know what I mean? He was a former starter for the New York Jets. He was a backup quarterback for the New York Giants. Got the opportunity as soon as Seattle let go of Russell Wilson, and he's done wonders, man. I mean, yeah, he threw an
Mm-hmm.
interception and stuff like that, but dude played good all season, and I hope that that momentum carries on for next season. But I gotta give respect to that. But the 49ers 8-1 at home, man, they're dangerous, man.
Very dangerous, not to mention an 11-game winning streak at the moment. Okay, the offensive line for the San Francisco 49ers is making Brock Purdy look like he's been doing this all his life. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's scary. We're not going to be calling this guy Mr. Irrelevant no more. You can forget about that. Okay? This man has done what he had to do for the short time. He's picking it up quickly. He's going to be dangerous. If the
Man, I
49ers
like I like to put in some comments here. Um, He says, "How you gonna hate on Dak's passes? Look at San Francisco. I'm not hating. I'm just stating out the facts. That ever since he's came back, he had a wonderful game against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Don't get me wrong, but when you look at the analytics, my analytics, and you measure out everything, which is facts, that when he throws over 30 passes, it's a concern. It is, especially when you got two lethal running backs, right? And that offensive line, they're great on the rushing attack. But when you steer away from the running game, okay, you tend to lose it. Now, you're talking about Brock Purdy, who's passing for 18 to 30. It's allowable. He is Mr. Irrelevant, right? He's a
yeah.
third string quarterback. But how do they win their games? They got talent all around. He's not forcing the ball. He's not doing anything crazy. He is listening to his coaches and he's executing what he's supposed to do. And he's not afraid of anybody. He has no worries. He may have had some little butterflies that first half against the Seahawks, but look, they scored 25 points. They went 25-6 against the Seahawks in the second half. That's all it matters. Really. And all that talent, I'm telling you, we'll have to wait and see. Not hating on Dak, but watch. When it goes over 30, let's see if you start forcing them balls and there comes the interceptions. Now we're going to get to see the real Cowboys.
And see, my
And
thing is, and see, what I'm afraid of is that the 49ers, they have the second best rush defense in the NFL. So if the Cowboys cannot get Pollard going, because I'm telling you, it's not going to be Zeke. it's going to be Pollard. If they can't get him going, then they're going to force Dak Prescott to throw at least 30 times again. And that, to your point, could be a dangerous thing because if you can't run the ball and you're forcing to throw the ball, there could be a pick or two with the number one defense in the NFL at the moment. And that could be dangerous for the Cowboys. And that's why I go back to say the Cowboys are not consistent. If they could be consistent with what they have, I will put them in the Super Bowl. But right now, they're inconsistent with what they got. They got the tools, but they don't know how to use the tool. It's like you got a hammer, but you use the screwdriver to hit the nail. You see, to me, it's just it's different every week with the Cowboys. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know, you look at the last 3 weeks of the regular season, how that played out. I know this is the playoffs and all the real colors start coming out, but you've seen it time again. When was the last time the Cowboys reached to the Super Bowl? 1995. Can they do it? It's a possibility. They just got to be diverse. That's all I'm saying.
now,
Oh,
now I will give the Cowboys passing defense credit. They will. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy, but the Cowboys' rush defense is irrelevant. They're not going to be able to stop the run. You see what I'm saying? So I think the 49ers are going to probably rely on their run against the Cowboys. And if they do, it's going to be a long night for that Cowboy defense if they can't stop the run.
all right. Another big one. I called this game. I got
Yeah, you did.
lucky. I
Yes,
got
you did.
lucky.
Yeah.
Jaguars did a comeback. They scored 24 points in the second half and 31-30, man. Like how you blow a 27-0 lead. I don't get it. I heard that the offensive coordinator got fired. Um, I'm wondering when they're gonna fire their head coach.
Right.
And is Sean Payton going to be next to take over that team? I don't know. But then I'd say to myself, why would they fire this guy? Last year, he messed up because he was so aggressive in his play callings and the management that this
Right.
year it looked like he showed improvement. So this is his first time in the playoffs, but damn, you gave up 27 points just like that. That's crazy talk. So Trevor Lawrence, 4 interceptions, but then came back through 4 touchdown passes. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jaguars, they win. They're moving on to play the was it
Can,
Kansas City
can,
Chiefs.
Kansas City. This
Right.
game looked like if I turn on Madden and decide to play hard for the first half, and since I was getting beat, I went to the settings and put it on easy mode, and I came back and won. That's exactly what this game looked like. Seriously, Trevor Lawrence looked like he needed to go back to high school football basics in the first half, but then looked like a Super Bowl contender in the second half. I don't know what the coach said in the locker room, but whatever he said, it worked because I've never seen a performance like this in my life.
I
You
just
would have
say
been
this, man. I just say this. The Chargers just need to establish a running game. If that's what they're hurting, then that's what they need to work on in the offseason to build that
yeah,
running game because that second half should have never happened. And if they
no,
would have continued running the ball and forced those first downs, this game would have been the Chargers visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. But
yep,
it is what it is. And sadly, I think this is the third largest upset in the playoffs, right?
yes, it is in the playoffs, not regular season playoffs. Yes, it is.
All right, another game that was close to call, man, and I lost money on this because I thought that the Bills would win at least 10 points on the Dolphins, but unfortunately, it was 34-31 the final score. Josh Allen uh, throwing over 300 yards. Josh Allen just did Josh Allen, but dude is always forcing the ball at times, and that's why he threw 2 interceptions. But you look at Thompson, the rookie, he's gonna have a future in the NFL.
Yes, I remember watching him because I'm in Big 12 country, so he played for K State, the Wildcats. So of
Right.
course I've seen him play, but I didn't think he was going to go out there and do this kind of damage against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. It was just amazing to see, and I think anybody who put money on this with this point spread lost big time.
Yeah, big time. But my concern is for the Bills, and I know you got them winning the Super Bowl. That donut that they have in the fourth quarter, that's a big no-no, man. Zero
Yeah, I
points in the
agree.
fourth quarter. That's
I
not
agree.
that's not gonna get you there. And now they're gonna go against the Cincinnati Bengals, which
Yep.
is a match that we didn't get to see the completion of. but they
Correct.
handled their business 24-17. Now for the defense, it's always hard to play against a rival team, especially three times. Okay. I got to give props to Huntley. He did a wonderful job as a backup quarterback. That guy could be a starter in any other team, man. And most likely, what could be happening, he may be the starter next year because of Jackson does not have a contract next season. Okay.
Right.
But you look at Burrow and his numbers, and you got, dude, they got weapons in that team. Okay. And the way things fell out here, again, Ravens had plenty of opportunity. Matter of fact, the last play of the game, they came like a few inches for that receiver to catch the ball, and
So
this game could have been tied.
that being said, if we had a healthy Lamar Jackson, could this be the other way around? Could we see the Ravens have beaten the Bengals
No, I
with the
don't,
help?
and I don't believe that because many times he made it to the playoffs, and the Ravens end up choking.
But I think he would have been a stronger competitor as a quarterback than Huntley would have. He would have made more smarter decisions going down the stretch because Huntley was just throwing it just to get it out of his hand, and he was running for his life. I think Lamar would have made a
So
couple more
what did
better
Jackson
decisions.
not run for his life too? I mean, Huntley was running too. That's what I'm saying. Is
But
like they make this seem
but
like
Huntley
Jackson
also
is this and that, but Cincinnati's beaten Jackson before. That's why I'm just
but Huntley
surprised
also
when
went
people
up in
say
the
that,
air. See,
right?
Huntley went up in the air when Jackson would have went down and scored a touchdown instead of going up and giving a 98-yard interception fumble return. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's little things like that that I think Lamar Jackson would have corrected, and we could have seen it a different way. If Huntley would have went down, I think we would have been talking about the Bengals being eliminated. I'm just saying.
Roberto Chavez says Lamar would have screwed it up big time. I believe you, man. I do. I do believe you. But I
uh,
like that's what I'm not surprised when people are trying to chime in. Well, with Jackson's there, no, it would have made a difference because he had that opportunity before and he too blew it. All right, but listen, wonderful games. It was awesome set for Monday Night Football. Like I thought it was going to be a better contest, but it looked like one sided throughout the whole thing. But the
mm,
playoff brackets, and I'm sorry, Hector. Um, you got 4 points this round, man. You got two wrong,
yeah,
man. And
that's okay.
but you're still looking
The,
good because the second round, the divisional round, is worth 2 points per each game. And you still on intact because all your final four is still there.
yep, yep. No matter how you see it, the Final Four is still alive. So things can change, and I think we're going to see the big change between Buffalo and Cincinnati. One of us is going to have a lot of dings after that game is over with. So
Yeah, man. So this is your score and mine. Okay, I went on perfect. I
so
have
far, yeah,
dude, this is scary because I've never went perfect in a wild card weekend, right? And
right.
I got a feeling that there's gonna be some major upsets, man, for me. Okay. And and we could talk about San Francisco because they've won so many games in a row that could possibility the Cowboys could be shutting everybody up. They shut down what's his name, Stephen A. Smith, right? He's shown up there with a cowboy hat all the way in Tampa, and he left Tampa with a sad look. But
See, the
I
thing
tell you
is,
what, go ahead.
the NFC top two teams, the Eagles and the 49ers, they already been put on notice. Okay, they're both playing two teams that are so confident that even the fan base are confident that a win can come either both ways or one way. I'm just sorry, but you're right. Somewhere down the line, one of these two is going to be an upset. One of the top two teams is not going on to the fans, even though we both have the top two. But the way the Giants and the Cowboys both played going now into the divisional round makes me
You want to be
question,
surprised if the Giants and Cowboys face each other in NFC Championship. That
you
will
know
be
how
that will be amazing.
I
But
got
I just
how
don't see it.
I got to deal with that here in Texas if that happens.
Oh man, there you go. Yes, that's right. Because the game will be in Dallas.
Mm,
Um, but hey, Roberto Thomas got some comments about you, man. He said Hector Baxter
yeah.
Jr. don't beat against the East. What's up with that?
Well, just the thing is that, him being a Cowboy fan and everything, we talked about how the East has turned it around big time. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we
Mm.
got three teams in the NFC in the divisional round. Three out of the four teams left to come from the NFC East. You think it's hard to beat us right now, but man,
It's never
49ers.
easy the third time around. It's never easy. Matter of fact, the Vikings second time playing the Giants, and look what happened. But it's just something about the secondary of the New York Giants. This is why the reason why I picked the Eagles to win
Yeah,
is
yeah,
because look, it's just something about that secondary and that off Eagles offense. Like they got speedy receivers, man.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone,
I get
and
it.
they're weak and defending the tight ends as
Right.
they did against the Vikings.
Oh my
And
God,
this
we
is the
couldn't stop
reason
them.
why. Yeah. And it's always every year, you know,
Hmm.
not to take nothing away from it. Yes, Giants succeeded. I'm a Giants fan, but reality check is that Eagles, I think that speed is going to get them. But then I have another theory is that the Eagles haven't been playing right in the month of December. They
Right.
they have injuries and everything else. And the Giants did not play their starters against the Eagles on that last game.
And nearly won that game.
Eh, So what's that tell you? Okay. And you
It's
got
gonna.
a bye week.
Hmm.
Things there might not be, that speed limit. I'm gonna say, am I saying that right? The speed of the game and everything else.
Right.
I see that the first half could be close, but if the Giants defense don't work, you know what I mean? I think the Eagles will be able to spank that ass and then just take off like the 49ers did to the Seahawks.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if the Giants don't start off hot right off the top against that Eagles offense, if our defense don't step off quickly in the first quarter, it's going to be a long day for the Giants. You're right, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying this as a Giants fan. I'm saying this as an NFL fan. If the Giants beat the Eagles convincingly and get to the NFC Championship game, you better watch out because history has a tendency of repeating itself, and we know what happened the last time the Giants were 9-7. They went on to win the Super Bowl. Okay, they know how to play in the NFC Championship game. The Giants are
Well, hold on for a
undefeated.
second. I don't know if they know how this is a new
It,
team,
but
new faces, new head
it's
staff.
was
I
the
mean, maybe
coach.
Dable knows because Dable's been
Dable.
there before.
Yes,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. He's the one
Mhm.
that's going to be the conductor of this train, not nobody else. He controlled the tempo of the game last week, and if the Giants jump off like they did against the Vikings and they do it to the Eagles, it's all because of Dable. Seriously, it's all because of
Uh,
not because of Danny.
all right. Well, hey, maybe let's do a recap on the prediction right now. The Chiefs and the Jaguars will face each other. I got the Chiefs beating the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to get spanked, maybe get shut down, man. I think maybe that the max scored 10 points, but the Chiefs will win 30-10. The Bills and the Bengals rematch once again. This time they're going to actually finish the game, hopefully. But I got
Yeah,
the Bengals upsetting the Bills in Buffalo. I think this is going to be maybe a 37-34 win for the Bengals. But you got the Bills winning, and that's okay because it could go either or, right? On the other side, Eagles over the Giants. I think that might be a 12-point win for the Eagles. But on the
right.
other side, the 49ers and the Cowboys, they have histories in the playoffs. But hey,
Mhm.
that defense wins championships, and I will trust the defense of the 49ers first than the Cowboys. I'm taking the San Francisco to win. And the final four will be Chiefs and Bengals and Eagles and 49ers.
I agree with everything but the Bengal part. I got this. You got Buffalo beating Cincinnati, but I got everything else. I got Kansas City beating Jacksonville. I had them beating the Chargers anyway. So, and
All
then on
right,
the other
man. Let's
side,
see. Let's see if my final four is dude. If my final four is set, that you might as well give me the championship belt on this, man.
well, definitely because if you knock out my Buffalo Bills, then I'm already done.
You're a
But
wrap, man. It's a
you're
wrap.
you're you're gonna be a wrap if Buffalo wins, pretty much, because now you're gonna have to rely on San Francisco as
Look,
your champion.
if the Giants and the Cowboys win, I'm already out. Let's put it that way. That'll be some crazy stuff. Like how you go against your own team, right?
Well, just because we're being real about it. We're not just going to sit here and say that because we're Giants fans, where they're going to walk all over the Cowboys. There's no,
Oh my
I mean,
god. Oh my god.
Another one
Oh,
with the
another
Jags.
one.
You
Stop.
know, hold
Stop.
on, Robert. I'll deal with you after this is over with, buddy. Good lord, there,
Oh
buddy.
man. Listen, man. Oh, this is the playoffs. This ain't the regular season. I'm gonna leave it like that. But I tell you what, Roberto Chavez, if they do win, I owe you. What I'll compensate something for you just because
He's
you're on the show, man. I got you.
well, he's family, so
Oh, he is.
yeah.
Oh man. I'm sorry for you. Oh hell, here we go.
He'll hold
That's
you
a
to it
bet.
too. He's
Word.
gonna hold
I
you to
got you. All the way from Connecticut. I got you, man.
it.
Well, hey, that is the playoff scenario, the prediction for the divisional round. More than what we got our money's worth, right? Because we already showed our brackets all the way to the Super Bowl. But
Sure did.
hey, that's our prediction. Let's see if Hector can catch up with me. I'm only 2 points ahead, but this round is worth 2 points, double the points. So let's see who's gonna
I just
come
need
on top after this weekend.
I just need Buffalo. That's all.
Shit, Buffalo going to the house, bro. They're gonna join number 3 and be like,
No,
"Yo, we."
no, they're gonna stay at home and wait for Jacksonville. I guess that's what Robert is saying.
Now Cincinnati, yo, if the Jags win, then Cincinnati's gonna be hosting that game. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, if Jacksonville wins, then Buffalo will be hosting it too. So yeah, I
Mm,
like that.
no,
Mm.
Buffalo going. They're gonna look, man. They're experiencing 2 feet of snow again, so I'm sure that they'd rather be chilling, nice hot, fireplace,
Well,
whatever.
that's
Yeah,
when you relocate them to a dome like they did on Thanksgiving, and they'll win.
yeah, okay.
Mm.
They're not going to Detroit, man. Even though Detroit need a winning team.
Go down to the dirty South, baby, with the dirty birds.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh,
Thank you, and let me let me hear your thoughts. Who is your final four for this playoffs? I'm OV1 with Hector V. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. This show is presented by CMG Sports. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone.